beautiful. No, not the kind of beautiful you're expecting me to be, not that inner beauty champion with beauty holes all over their brain, then right beside their lips. No, this ain't poetic. This won't go on ranting on my insensitivity or any hot mess that I am, or introversion pride for once. Beautiful, as the kind which makes someone raise a muffled ah or mentally smirk as I make my way past them. The kind which makes girls who'd stand a full minute assessing their outfit, walking out past wistful looks from the periphery of their eyes. So, yes, now go ahead, place those eyes all over the contours of this body and judge, appraise, assess, appropriate. If I am true to my words, if I do really possess all that I boastfully claim, go ahead and stroll over this pudgy nose, lazily spreading its branches all over available space. These hands, which come with inbuilt micro cushions, as my nanny likes to call them. These overgrown lips, which flaunt flabs, which can't be categorized as Kylie Jenner's or Angelina Jolie's. Take your time. You have it all here. All the beautiful shades, folds, and hollows. Now mix and match, copy and paste into your definitions, into your sharp, pricky noses or the small, dainty kinds, into the long, bony hands or the manicured nails, hand cream kinds, into the baby pink father fur lips or the dark toned heart pout kinds. Do I still fit? Maybe not. You just need to tend a little, my Didi says as she sizes me head to toe. Tiny jhumkas in your ears, a sexy clutch bag for those flying untamable bangs, plenty bangles to fill those boring wrists, some metal work to hide your bony neckline, a flare to adorn the potato wedges called thighs. And then, I guess, she takes a step back, assessing her creation. You can then be worthy of those ahs and smirks, be eligible for those wistful looks. For then, my girls, once you've given in into the 10 must-have shades for summer, a unique homemade trick to lose those dimples, major turn-ons of 2017, then you will enjoy focusing a little less on your vulnerabilities, your opinionated debates, your erratic imaginations, your oversensitive fidgeting, and your inability to keep shut. Then you will worry a little less about working on initiating that first talk or not drooping your shoulders in the shadows as you walk, or those unfinished poems in your notebook which lurk in stock. You will, and then maybe you'll be able to recite this poem looking straight into their eye, not worrying about where they place their eyes, about their assessments, appraisals, and all of their appropriation. No, you wouldn't have to mind or drain all your anxiety in beads of overthinking about pudgy noses or flabby lips, for then, my dear, then you will be there beautiful.